Hello, everybody. This is Uhfgood. Here, let's start this guy off. Today is going to be another talking video. What?
Read by
No, not right now.
Chapter
Annoying.
7. Queer Lodgings.
Anyways, I'm putting this up in the background because we're going to be doing some talky talk and
The next morning,
this over
Bilbo
here.
woke up with the early sun in his eyes. He
Let's
jumped
pull
up
this
a
guy
little
back
time
up.
to put the kettle on, and found he was not
And
alone.
this is actually old. I don't know if you can see that, but it says May 21st. So right now it's almost, so like been like several weeks now since I've actually used that. But okay, that's
This time he was allowed to climb on the eagle's back. And
I'll deal with that later. And characters. So before I get to our character stuff here, I'm trying to reevaluate how I build this. Here, let's actually, we can full screen this temporarily. Hey, look, it's my desktop, and it's full screen. Wow, interesting. Oh, I should go ahead and mute this right now. Okay, so you probably heard me speaking on the stupid video, and so now I'm going to oh wait, that's right. The reason I don't want it to go full screen here is that. Okay, so let's start over. I've been reevaluating how I wanted to do this. I haven't really been exactly making progress yet, right? I've been going through that Blender book, and even though it's important and I want to document me learning stuff, learning Blender and learning to draw and all this stuff, tutorials and whatnot. I'm not making that quick of progress. In fact, I'm not even doing that much during the day. I'm doing like 1 hour a day, and even that's not a full hour. So I want to figure out some ways of speeding up the process, I guess. Not so much trying to get it out as quick as possible, as much as trying to actually create, get a feeling of progress. These videos, I'm averaging about 3 to 4 views per video, and I don't mean per day, I just mean per video. And I kind of want the view counts to come up a little bit, but at the same time, I am not trying to, my target audience, I'm not trying to create a, how do you say it? First of all, these videos aren't for game players. They might be interested afterwards, but this is for anybody that likes behind the scenes stuff and likes to know how other people do stuff. Really not even behind the scenes stuff, because I'm not like a polished, I'm not like some video game company and showing this polished production about how the making of something or whatever. But there's really more people that are kind of interested in how other people kind of work it, right? So I need that stuff. Now, if I was just going solely for a YouTube audience, I would be doing everything that I could to get, like, I would make specially prepared thumbnails. I'd be recording video about what I'm doing, but I would have edited it into this thoroughly, with the beginning, middle, and end, and scripted out what I did this past week, or over the months or whatever. They'd be less frequent, and it would be all kind of more planned out and polished and all that stuff. And I suppose if I did that, I would get more viewers. The only problem is when you do that, you're going to spend a lot of time editing, a lot of time writing. That's actually not true. What it is I'm going to have less content, less videos out, which I suppose you could say it might be a better thing. It might be a good thing to do that. Um, the audience, I don't know if it'll grow faster. It might grow faster. Um, and almost in a way, I should do that because I'm partially documenting this for myself. I am not. I'm not. I am. I'm doing it for people watching the videos, but partly as a way to keep my progress, to see how much time I've actually spent, and with these, like you have the date and the time in here, and then of course you have the actual minutes of the video. So it's for me to document. So it might even be a better idea to not have so many videos and to work on the video for the week and then just do like a recap video and all that stuff. And I might be better served with that. But I wanted to have the full behind the scenes dealie. I didn't want to cut out everything, even the boring parts, because sometimes you're interested in how those boring parts work. So when you make stuff, you so when you make stuff, your own stuff, you want to know how somebody handled something. Like I wanted to know how Tim Schafer handled writing for Broken Age in the documentary for the Double Fine adventure documentary. But basically what he do is he'd go and lock himself up in a room and he'd do his writing, and then he'd come out later, and you don't hear about the writing process. You didn't really. There is the process to making the game that they did, though. He comes up with a story and the characters, and he presents it, and then he tells them to essentially make the rest of it. So I suppose he isn't so much designing there as writing. Not that he's not designing at all, because they have the meetings, and then they figure out what the design, how to design it, what they want and all that. What I'm saying is, maybe when he does his writing, he doesn't do that. Maybe he just works on the premise and the characters and maybe some of the locations and stuff, and maybe he goes on it based on like a story, or maybe he just has an outline so they can come out and say, well, this is what He evidently had a bunch of stuff written down when he shows his notebooks, but you don't really know what's written in there, and so that was kind of my problem. My problem is, well, what do I do? Maybe I should make a story, like a book, a little mini novel or whatever, and then take out all the kind of narrative stuff and break it down and, you know, base some of my design based on that. Do I just do a straight up outline, or do I just kind of make it up as I go along? Have an idea of where I'm going, but I don't know everything yet. The approach that I kind of been trying to take here is I've been using the the 3-act structure kind of movie screenplay format, where you have this kind of outline, and you have your plot points, and you got relatively the runtime of a movie. That doesn't mean I'm making a movie runtime. It just means I'm following that format. The 30, 60, 30, or where it's 1/2, and then it's like the section like Act 2, and then Act 1 and 3 are half of that size or whatever. So I've been kind of taking the approach that I'd start the whole outline for the whole story, and then I would divide it up into pieces, and then they'd each have their kind of little plot lines for the particular game or the particular part, right? And then I would let's see. Then I would start working in characters and designing characters. But then I realized that what I had done with the story originally, in fact, my notes are gone, and that's actually kind of a good thing because it means I can start over, not because I want to start over, but because I can show you how the process or how my process works. So. So when I started doing this here, I started thinking, well, um, maybe I should go through each of the characters, their own plot lines, because they're each going to have their own plot line. I mean, it's going to intersect and it's going to be part of the main plot line. It's not going to be it's not going to be a TVA and B story where, they have this little thing that they do and then you have your main story. But all these plot lines kind of intersect, and so I was thinking, well, maybe what I'll do is I'll write this background. I'll do a plot outline for this character, and then I will do it character by character, and then I would design the visuals for them, and then I would do it that ways. But because of how big it is, I'm not even sure if that's even kind of the right way to do it. However, maybe I can just do that anyways, and maybe I can split it up into parts afterwards. If I know where I'm going with the main story thread, and then I work on the characters so that they can work their angle on the story, then I can put it together in any fashion that I want. Maybe that's the best way to do it, and I think that's probably what I'll do. So I guess we're really kind of at the end here. It's kind of this. I guess I'm kind of rambling, but the point to the rambling is so I can kind of get my thoughts back together, and so I can kind of, how you do where you start with the idea and you roll it around in your head forever, and then you start talking about it and you start writing stuff down, and eventually it becomes like the solid idea. That's kind of what I'm doing here. So even in this, there's kind of a method to my madness. There's kind of a reason for what seems to be just kind of mindless ramblings or trying to take up time, which I'm not doing. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to probably start on this. I probably have a little bit more to say, but we'll get back into Max here, and I'll kind of tell you how I'll go with this. So I would like to say thank you for watching, and please continue watching these videos.